What is this? Getting really Nightmare Before Christmas in here. What's this? What's this? I don't know. That one's usually attributed to Tim Burton, but it's actually by Henry Selick, or he's the director, and sort of sponsored by Tim Burton, if I remember that correctly. Henry Selick's also the one who did Coraline. That movie terrified me as a kid, but I went to a Leica Studios premiere ever since I started living in Oregon, and that's where Leica is set up. I went to a re-showing of the movies and a talk with some of I think the animation director, and then there was someone else. And rewatched Coraline, and after having had the talk and seeing the statues in the exhibit, I gained a new appreciation for it as an adult. Still creeped out by those, like, long metal spider hands in the beginning, though. Still can't sit through that intro because it creeps me out too much. It's weird what I've become sensitive or desensitized to. I think I left my bucket behind. That's another thing I've noticed about my generation specifically in the internet, is that strange sense of I guess it's like knowing you won't have the ability to, buy a house, or you don't have that future of longevity that your parents or their parents were expecting. So everything's more of a does it please me here and now kind of thing. Because you don't really imagine that you'll like waiting doesn't really get you much anymore. Like you spend 50 years of hard work laboring for someone. And back in ye olden days, you'd get employee benefit and you'd be like a valued member of the company. And of course it depends on who you are and what you look like, honestly, but there was a lot more of an expectation that your employers would take care of you, and, the work would give reward. But I feel like now, when you're working somewhere, like, the benefits you get are like, we'll give you free therapy after we've traumatized you. Or 40 free sessions, and then you have to pay. Nope. Can't run. But also with the internet, like, you can see so much that you're desensitized to a strange amount of things. With the internet, especially when it was a little less regulated, not that I'm approving of some of those regulations now, especially what YouTube's going with, where it's the creator's job to protect children instead of the actual platform. But like, the more unmoderated internet was, like, cute, harmless fun, or scarred for life roulette, where you never know what you're going to see. So, like, I've seen a lot of things, or, like, the concept, you know, oh, you could have your rights taken away from you, or you could die at any time. Like, that's not a really... I don't know, that's something I've sort of come to terms with, that I feel like a lot of my generation shares, just because it's so... You've seen those people, and you've seen... There's a skeleton after me again. It's not shocking to find out that... not shocking to think you could be seriously hurt at any time, or that things will go really poorly, because there isn't that, like, sheltered bubble, you know? You see it all. So there isn't that assumption that... I don't know. Like, you just... I feel like when you live in a smaller town, or... when your only source of information are the people closest to you, and those people are usually your relatives, then it's a lot easier to get into the flow of it, I guess. Where you know your expectations, and you don't really assume beyond that often. Hello, puppies. I've had a time. Do I have food? I have copper. Can't eat copper. Bones. Try making beet soup. Like, I used to... For 3rd grade, I tried out... Or... No, for 6th. For 6th? 7th? 7th or 8th, I tried out, an online school. And... I'm glad that school exists. But it was also designed with people more out in the country, in mind. So I was kind of shocked by... They were definitely smart kids, but I was just shocked by... calling them kids, they were my age, but shocked by... Yeah. How little they questioned, I guess. There was something the teacher gave the prompt, you know. She says, there's no right answer, but which has had more impact on the world and humanity at large. Again, no right answer. 9/11 or women's rights? There is a right answer to that. I think women's rights are definitely more earth-shattering than a permanent, stupid, I think, change to airports. Security theater. And especially now. That was not as much of a loaded question back then, but as of recent events, this, June 20-something. 5th. I definitely think, you know, like, half the population is probably important. Maybe their, you know, autonomy or ability to live is a good thing. I plant some azaleas. That goes back to the, the point I'm trying to make about making things easy while you can. Like, there isn't that expectation of longevity. So it's like, Why not? You know, like, what are you gonna do about that? How are you gonna fix the world in its entirety other than wait around and vote and, you know, sort of do your part? And basically, you can't, so it's just enjoying the little things. You know? I don't see it as irresponsible. Um, to just buy the, you know, cheap thing, the face mask, the whatever. And it's also not, once again, there's a lot of complaint about disposables, and the lie I was told, still affects me, and a lot of people, is that assumption that, like, you're the cause of pollution. You didn't recycle that bag once, that's why the world is dying. Meanwhile, as long as you believe that, you know, the corporations and big factories are rubbing their hands together, watching as we fight amongst ourselves over, you know, who didn't throw the Tupperware in the right place when they're dumping oil and creating tar sand pipelines and stupid garbage. So anyway, that's my political Minecraft speech. Shield, that's what I was gonna make. That's another interesting thing, is that YouTubers are only people. Like, there's this weird assumption of having to, like, oh, you know, don't make my games political or whatever gamer garbage that is, and that comes from a lot of things where it's like, politics are more than a talking point or a mild disagreement. I'm gonna take these dogs with me and get something to eat. How does this work? Oh! Stupidly short little dagger sword. Oh, I'm slower. Or maybe I just haven't eaten. Are beets enough? You can't cook a beet. What was I saying? Oh, like the expectation to keep things separate. Between politics and games. How do you make a pumpkin pie? But, like, people are going to have opinions, and games are founded based on our world and our enjoyment, and that's affected by that. So it's like, as silly as it is to bring, you know, women's rights, or just reproductive or health rights, or anyone's rights, and talking about that as the form of a rant in a little block game, is ridiculous, but so is life. Hello, Mark. Mark doesn't eat fish. What does Mark eat? Can I breed polar bears? I don't know if you two are, you know, into each other that way. That's another thing about, you know, even if you were to argue, like, don't put politics in my silly block game, I can't help but wonder if a lot of the draw of Minecraft is the open worldness and all of that. You know, you can customize your own skin, you can be, you know, within a pixel limit, anything you want. And just the, you know, like, Minecraft has no biological sex to it. Like, this isn't... Any of the animals can be any gender, and so can the player, all of that. So, I think that's already sort of a... When you get it to be multiplayer, then not having that inherent gendered aspect, Like, it's only what the player makes. And I'm sure there are some from the creators, you know, some biases and things that go into it, because they're only human, but it's interesting to see what people are drawn to, and how much it also kind of proves it doesn't matter, in a sense. Like, if it matters to you, that's what makes it important, but it's just I don't know, there are so many things that people are so invested in on limiting about others that have no effect other than the fact that it was just cave cat. Then that's just what they're born with. You know, it's not a question of what's right and wrong, they just react to it because it is unfamiliar. And, you know, that used to serve well when the unfamiliar is, you know, a bear in the bushes. And sometimes it still is, but now the unfamiliar is another human who doesn't have your harm in mind when they are making decisions about themselves, and doing what they believe in for themselves. And I find myself looking to games to escape that often. Or to mitigate it, I suppose. I've been through all of these 1,000 times. I don't know what I'm doing. Looking for food, I guess. Can go down to the river for fish. There's one of you. There's two of you, there's three. Owls. I was like, what kind of sheep is that? It's the back of an iron golem's head. Are Minecraft villagers anti-Semitic caricatures? Because I feel like being emerald, money-loving, big-nosed creatures adjacent to the player that raise golems to protect them in a game made by a neo-Nazi does seem a tad suspicious. I don't know, I'm sure everyone has thought of that at some point, but I want to know what the, I don't know. The opinions of someone relevant, which I very much am not. Salmon. There you are. I'm gonna drown. I took a screenshot! Free me! You ever just try so hard not to drown you take a screenshot? Did I get any of that salmon? No. Drowned and for what? There it is. Give me. Maybe it's better to go ice fishing. I'm gonna cook this. And then I'll be able to run and heal. And get more sand while I'm at it. Never know what I need glass for. I don't have any coal. Now to get more salmon. Ice fishing. Still haven't mastered that, the, like, faster swimming mechanic. It's just weird to me that you can do that now. Hello. Oh no. Okay. I wonder what kind of creatures come out in the ice biomes. There's salmon under here somewhere. But I'll retrieve that from underneath the ice later. Hard to see. You can live in there. That's fine. Fashion sense skeleton. I'm gonna stay under here for a bit. It's too far under the ice. Maybe they don't like cooked fish. Is that what I tried to give them before? It sounded like an Ender Dragon noise, but it was just you. No? Not into fish? Okay. They don't have seals in the game. I'm not sure what polar bears eat. Are they wild berries? Are there regular bears? I've yet to come across any, but... Is that a baby polar bear? Aww. I do have 10 fish now, so I guess that'll last me. Maybe I don't want to go back there, though. Ooh, definitely don't want to go over there. Or there. Or there or there. Okay. Is there anything inside of these? Be cool if you could find, like, bones or fossils or something. Is that just water? Yeah. I'm gonna run that on my pick. Oh, it's actually just super easy to break this. Oh. Oh, that's right. You can fit in one block spaces. Not really sure what I was trying to do there. I am going to try and cook. Nope. Iron golems doing their work. What is this? Why did that open the door? Is that just a coincidence? Sorry, just gonna use your furnace here. Okay, all of my wolves are here still. Take these. And go back home. Where there's actual coal. That spider spawner would have been helpful, but I broke it. Oh no, it just keeps getting worse. Just keep running. Okay. Spider, I hear you. Attack. Oops. Fell in a polar bear. Fell in a hole with a polar bear. Call that a polar plunge. Oh, and I freed that polar bear. You're welcome. Alrighty. Skeleton burning. I'll take some of their arrows. Okay, achievement got. Yes. I don't think I'm in need of zombie flesh for anything. Giving me flashbacks to crying alone in a hole. Goleming it up. Thanks for nothing, Cave Cat. Let's add some moss carpet. And then get some iron. Do some of it. Oh! Look at that. That's nice. How are my salmon? What do I name them? I'll call you Sally and Simon. My silly salmon. Does that work? I don't know.